The following is a class on the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 10, text number 9, given by His Grace Sriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari, recorded on September 3rd, 2009, in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Machchita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mang Nityam Tushyanti Cha Brahmanti Cha Machchita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mang Nityam Tushyanti Cha Brahmanti Cha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Purport. Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing Him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in His abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of a seed in the heart of a living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe. And out of them, there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies, just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahma Jyoti effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky also, that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as the plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. then he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees, as stated in the Bhagavatam itself, 12, 13, 18. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatan Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. So, this material world, tough place.
Този материален свят е неприятно място.
That's a fact.
Това е факт.
Difficult.
Трудно е.
So many miseries.
Толкова много нещастие.
Being born is miserable.
Раждането е нещастие.
Getting sick is miserable.
Да се разболееш е страдание.
Getting old is miserable.
Да старееш е нещастие.
And dying is miserable.
И да умреш също е страдание.
It's a difficult place.
Това е неприятно място, трудно място.
But there is one solace.
Но има един подслон.
If we can enter into this wonderful Krishna Katha,
Ако ние можем да се установим в тази прекрасна Кришна ката,
we will transcend this material existence.
ще трансцендентираме това материално съществуване.
We will go beyond our bodies and our minds.
Ще отидем отвъд умовете и телата си.
We will reawaken our eternal spiritual identities
Ще събудим отново нашите истински духовни същности,
in quality one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
които са качествено еднакви с върховната божествена личност.
Krishna and the topics of Krishna are one and the same.
Кришна и темите за Кришна са едно и също нещо.
So, when we are talking about Krishna, we are directly associating with Krishna.
че когато говорим за Кришна, директно общуваме с Кришна.
So if we can learn how to fully absorb our minds in these transcendental topics,
Така че ако можем да разберем как напълно можем да потопим умовете си от тези трансцендентални теми,
such topics will transport us into the spiritual sky.
тези теми ще ни отведат в духовното небе.
Where there's no such thing as death,
Където няма такова нещо като смърт,
there's no birth,
няма раждане,
there's no sickness,
няма болести,
there's no old age.
и няма старост.
Simply eternal lives full of knowledge and bliss.
Просто вечни животи, изпълнени с знание и божество.
So, the nice thing about this is that these topics are very attractive.
Хубавото в случая е, че тези теми са много привлекателни.
If one can become relieved of the influence of passion and ignorance, tamagun and rajagun,
Ако някой може да бъде освободен от влиянието на нишите проявления на природата, раджагуна и тамагуна,
one can derive the sweetest pleasure by these topics.
може да получи най-сладкото удоволствие от тези теми.
Therefore, we have our regulated principles.
Ето защо имаме нашите регулиращи принципи.
No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling.
Никакъв забранен секс, никакво месоядство, никакви интоксиканти, никакъв пазар.
And chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
И повтаряне на 16 кръга Харе Кришна Махамантра.
Because by doing this faithfully,
Защото извършвайки това с вяра,
one becomes situated in the mode of goodness.
човек се установява в проявлението на доброто.
And then he can derive great pleasure in these topics.
И тогава може да изпитва огромно удоволствие от тези теми.
Prabhupada gives this wonderful example. Just as a young boy and a young girl, you see, they fall in love with each other.
Това дава този прекрасен пример с едно младо момче и момиче.
That boy, he's always thinking of that girl.
Те са влюбени един в друг и момчето винаги
The minute he wakes up in the morning, he's thinking, what is that girl doing now?
когато се събуди сутрин, момчето си мисли, какво ли прави момичето сега.
He dreams about that girl at night,
Сънува я през нощта
and the girl is doing the same thing. She is wondering, where is that boy?
и момичето прави също нещо. Тя си мисли къде е това момче.
When will I meet with him again? You see, in this way, they're totally absorbed in boy-girl consciousness.
Кога ще се видим отново по този начин? Те са постоянно потопени в момче-момиче съзнание.
No one had to train them to do that.
Никой не се налага да ги обучава да правят това.
As soon as they came to puberty, it became a natural thing, you see.
Веднага, щом стигнат до определена възраст, това е нещо естествено.
So, if one awakens one's Krishna consciousness,
Тогава, ако някой събуди своето Кришна съзнание,
he falls in love with Krishna.
той се влюбва в Кришна,
He's infatuated with Krishna.
той е обсебен от Кришна.
He feels very, very strong affection and love for Krishna, you see.
Това е много, много силна любов и привързаност към Кришна.
He likes to look at Krishna.
Той обича да го гледа,
He likes to hear about Krishna.
обича да слуша за него,
He likes to bow down to Krishna.
обича да му дава почитание,
He likes to serve Krishna 24 hours a day.
обича да служи на Кришна 24 часа в денонощие.
He doesn't even care for material facilities.
Той дори не се интересува от материално удоволствие.
Just he needs a place to lie down at night, a little prasadam to keep him going, and he'll be happy with service 24 hours a day.
Просто малко местенце, където да легне и малко прасадам, за да държи душата и тялото задни, и той е удовлетворен.
This is Krishna consciousness.
Това е Кришна съзнание.
So it is very nice here. In this verse it is said, Tusyanti chavamanti cha.
И в този текст се казва Тушанти чара манти чара.
They become greatly satisfied and they enjoy transcendental bliss by this Krishna katha.
Преданните се изпитват върховно удоволствие чрез Кришна ката.
So you should seek out devotees with whom you can talk about Krishna.
Така че трябва да търсите предно ударени, с които можете да говорите за Кришна.
They are your best friends.
Те са вашите най-добри приятели.
Whoever likes to talk and hear and talk about Krishna, they are your best friend.
Винаги обичат да слушат за Кришна, да слушат и да говорят за
If you're married, then you and the husband and wife, they should make a habit of always talking to each other about Krishna.
Ако са семейство, според трябва да направят такъв навик, винаги да си говорят за Кришна.
And if you're a father or a mother, you should always engage with your child in Krishna Katha.
Ако сте баща или майка, винаги трябва да сте ангажирани с детето си в Кришна Ката.
And if you're a brahmachari, you should make friends with brahmacharis and hear and talk about Krishna.
Ако сте брамачари, трябва да имате приятели брамачари, с които да си говорите за Кришна.
And if you're a brahmacharini, you should make friends with other brahmacharinis to hear and talk about Krishna together.
Брамачари, трябва да имате приятелки брамачарини, с които да си говорите за Кришна.
In this way, everyone should make Krishna Katha the basis of their relationships in this movement.
И така всички трябва да направят Кришна Ката основата на своят живот в това движение.
If Krishna Katha is not the basis of your relationship, what will it be?
Ако Кришна Ката не е основата на вашето общуване, какво ще бъде?
You know the opposite of Gramya Katha? I let it out. The opposite is Gramya Katha.
Обратното е Грамя Ката.
Village talk.
Селско придум.
It's like sometimes devotees make up a rumor about someone and they spread it around. You see, false rumors. You see.
Като някога правят някакви слух за някого и го разпространяват много.
This is Gramya Katha.
Това е Грамя Ката.
So, you know what Prabhupada compares the Gramya Katha?
Знаете ли Прабхупада с какво сравнява Грамя Ката?
In India, there is a snake. He is very expert at hearing the sound vibration of the croaking toad.
В Индия има една змия, която е експерт в това да чува вибрацията на крякащата жена.
In the dark night, you cannot see anything, but you can hear the croak. The toad is croaking. Kakakra, kakakra, kakakra.
Но през нощта, когато нищо не може да се види, може да се чуе крякането на жаби.
So even though it is pitch black, that snake, he is so expert.
И въпреки, че тъмница, непогледна тъмнина,
He zeroes in on that sound and eats that frog. You see.
по звука може да се ориентира и да отиде и да изяде жаба.
So Prabhupada explains that those who engage in Gramya Katha,
Прабхупада обяснява, че тези, които
they are inviting death. Please come and get me. I am here.
тези, които се ангажират в Грамиката, канят смъртта, молят те, ела и ме вземи изяш ме.
Do you want death to come and take you right now?
Те ли смъртта да дойде в този миг и да ви вземе?
Then engage in Gramya Katha.
Тогава се ангажирате в Грамиката.
Gramya Katha attracts death,
Грамиката привлича смъртта,
and Krishna Katha attracts immortality.
а Кришнаката привлича безсмъртието.
So what do you want?
И така, какво искате вие?
Do you want death
Смърт
or do you want immortality?
или безсмърт?
So you can choose. They say man is the architect of his own destiny.
Вие може да избирате. Хората казват, човек е архитект на собствената си съдба.
If you talk nonsense, you're calling death very near.
Ако говорите глупости, каните смъртта наблизо.
And if you talk about Krishna, you're calling immortality deathlessness.
Ако говорите за Кришна, каните безсмъртието.
So I can ask now if there's any questions.
Сега мога да попитам, ако имате някакви въпроси.
Ние разполагаме с умът, който е склонен да преработва така нещата, че да ги прави удобно. Често четейки дори Бхагавад Гита такава каквато е, ума ни низява, т.е. пригажда към нашите условия. Бхагавад Гита. и цялото ведическо знание. Това е ролята на духовния учител, за да може ние наистина да виждаме Бхагавад Гита такава, каквато е. Тоест да изправяме тия изкривявания, които ума ни върши.
Може само да го преведа, че сме под влиянието на ума.
Разбира се.
We are under the influence of our minds, and the mind has the inclination to make everything comfortable and understandable. And in this way, the mind does the same thing with the Bhagavad Gita. Even when we read the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the mind has this inclination to make the Bhagavad Gita to fit our perceptions of life. So what is the role of the spiritual master in correcting this?
The spiritual master's duty is to see that the disciple properly understands Bhagavad Gita, that he's not twisting it around his own attachments.
Ролята на духовния учител е да наблюдава ученика да разбира правилно Бхагавад Гита, да ня извърта според собствените си привързаности.
Next question. Yeah.
Относно това, как ние винаги трябва да говорим Кришна ката, искам да питам неща от въпроси, които между предно дадено обсъждаме въпроси, кога се срещаме, как си, какво правиш, здрав ли си, болен ли си, как са децата, кой ти вече на училище. Това грамия ката ли е Кришна ката?
Чанки изкараме го.
Give her a sweet ball. Sweet ball. Get any sweet ball?
Nice with Krishna. So the question?
Yeah.
The question is, we're supposed to only speak Krishna Kata. So when we meet each other, the devotees, when we meet each other, are questions like, how are you doing? Are you alright? Are you healthy?
Yeah, that is also Krishna consciousness. To show love for the devotees, that is also Krishna. That is also topics of Krishna.
Това също е Кришна, където да се показва Бог към преданданието, също са теми за Кришна.
Because Krishna's devotees, they talk about the wonderful qualities and the activities of the devotees. That is also Krishna Kata.
Да се говори за дейностите и качеството на преданданието, също е Кришна Ката.
Like Krishna says, ye me bhaktas jana parata, na me bhaktas chate jana, mad bhaktanam cha ye bhaktas, te me bhakta tamamata. He says, the one who is my devotee is not my devotee.
Както казва Кришна, онзи, който казва, че е мой предан ударен, не е мой предан ударен.
But the one who is the devotee of my devotee, he is my actual devotee.
Но онзи, който заявява, че е предан ударен, не мой предан ударен, той е мой истински предан ударен.
So we should always feel and manifest compassion towards the Vaishnavas.
Винаги трябва да проявяваме състрадание към и да чувстваме състрадание към преданданието, към Vaishnavas.
Such expressions of compassion for Vaishnavas, they are also Krishna Kata.
Такава проява на състрадание към преданданието е също Кришна Ката.
Any other questions?
Аз казах, че преданданите са лотосовите стъпала на Бога. Бог Шива дори казва на Парвати, че служенето на преданданите е по-висше от служенето на Бога. В тази връзка любовта към преданданите идентична ли е с любовта към Кришна?
It is said that the Vaishnavas are the lotus feet of the Lord. Lord Shiva even said the Vaishnavas, the devotees, are the lotus feet of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And Lord Shiva even says to Parvati that serving the devotees is higher than serving the Lord. So in this connection is the love for the devotees the same as the love for Krishna?
No, it's more important. One who says, I just love Krishna and not the devotees, he is called Kanishta Adhikari.
обича Кришна,
And Krishna does not accept his love.
но не обича преданните, наречени каништа, и Кришна не приема неговата любов.
When you actually learn to love devotees, then you become elevated to Madhyam Adhikari.
Когато човек се научи да обича преданните, се издига под формата на Мадьям Адхикари.
And then your love of Krishna becomes very strong also. When you love his devotees, what did Prabhupada always say? If you love me, love my dog.
Както Прабхупад често казва, ако обичате мен, обичайте и кучето ми.
So the Vaishnava, he is a dog of God.
И така Вайшнавите, те са кучето на Бога.
If you don't love the Vaishnava, you do not love God.
Ако не обичаш Вайшнавите, не обичаш Бога.
So try to love the Vaishnavas by engaging in the 6 loving exchanges with the Vaishnavas.
Опитайте се да обичате Вайшнавите, ангажирайте се в 6 форми на обмяна.
And then your love of Krishna will manifest.
И тогава любовта към Кришна ще се прояви.
Questions more? Okay.
Говори се за Кришна ката, която пречиства съзнанието. Но изначалният Нарада Муни, освен че е слушал разкази за Кришна, е приемал остатъците от храната на преданите. Кое е всъщност, кое е нещо да кажа за прасадване, всъщност, остатъците от храната на преданите. Еднакво силно ли е като Кришна?
So we're talking about Krishna Kata. We're talking about Krishna Kata, but the original Narada Muni, he didn't only have Krishna Kata, but he also took the remnants of the Bhaktivedantas. So would you say something about the importance of
Yeah. Jivado. You know the meaning?
езика и другите си? Знаеш ли какво е значението на това дживада?
Rupa Goswami says, Jivado, devotional service begins with the tongue. Jiv is tongue.
Рупа Госвами казва, че преданно служене започва.
Jiva, and then Ado is beginning. So, Jivado, it begins with the tongue. Devotional service begins with the tongue.
Преданно служене започва от езика.
Vibrating Krishna Kata
Вибриране на Кришна Ката
and tasting Krishna Prasad.
и вкусване на Кришна Прасада.
Both are very, very potent.
И двете са много, много могъщи.
So one must engage the tongue in tasting Krishna Prasad and vibrating the glories of Krishna.
Човек трябва да се ангажира
And then you become perfect.
езика си. В вкусване на Кришна Прасада и вибриране на Кришна Ката и така ще стане съвършено.
Questions more? Yeah.
Формиране на вкусовете, независимо към състояние свободно, към неща свързани с Кришна, кое има определящо значение? Кармата, която имаме, или общуването с другите хора, или комплексното, кое е решаващо при формирането на вкусовете?
When we develop our taste, be it our Krishna Kata taste, the taste for Krishna Kata, or our mundane taste for mundane things, what is the factor that influences more? Is it our karma?
Sangha. Sangat sanjayate kama. One's consciousness is developed according to their association. If you associate with people who talk about Krishna, you will talk about Krishna. You associate with people who don't talk about Krishna, then you will develop that mentality. That's why Lord Chaitanya said, the first principle of Vaishnava culture is asatsangya tyag. Give up the association of non-devotees. We are not interested to take shelter of non-devotee association. We're very eager to give them Krishna conscious association. That's all right. We couldn't care a fig for their nonsense, mundane culture. We don't need to celebrate their holidays, you know. Some temples now, they put a Christmas tree in the temple with the decorations for Christmas. It's crazy. I don't know if you're doing that here, but one temple was doing that. There's no sense in it. Killing a tree. Some so-called sentiment about Christmas, you know. There's no worship of Jesus Christ. So in this way, we're not interested in reliving our old karmi culture. I've seen some devotees, and there's a day in America called Thanksgiving Day when everybody eats turkey. So some devotees, they take some curd, you know, some paneer, and they make imitation turkey. And they have their turkey dinner, you know. They know they can't eat, but they want to think they're eating turkey. They want to pretend they're eating turkey because they want to, and they actually want to continue eating turkey. When I didn't want to join them, they became angry at me. Oh, you're a fanatic. So this sentiment for mundane culture is there in devotees. I see them. They want to continue like being like karmis, you see. But we don't need that karmic culture. Our Vaishnava culture gives us everything we need. It's all here in Krishna consciousness. Not that I have to go to take my son to the baseball game, you know, or the football game, or what's big here? Soccer? The soccer game. You know. And we have to go skiing in the mountains, you know. Not necessary. Go out and chant and dance. That's the best exercise. And that's the best sports. Go out and distribute books. That's the supreme adventure. Yes, you don't need these karmi things. Our Vaishnava culture has everything. Any other questions? Food is simply wonderful in the mouth. It keeps, the mother should have some sweets, you know, put the sweet in the mouth. As soon as the child cries, give him some prasadam, you know. Have a little prasadam handy. Okay, what? Yes.
What can we do when we are obliged to associate with non-devotees, for example, at our jobs or at our
just do whatever you need to keep your job. That's all right. But you don't have to eat their food. That's it. I was before I joined. For some years I was supporting our preaching center, working part time. And I became an award-winning salesman for the company. So they even invite me to the special award dinners. You see, everybody gets the special award, and they give you big bonus checks and all kinds of perks, you know.
голямата гала вечеря за големите бонуси, на които получаваш специален чек.
But I would have Manaji pack me some prasadam. And I would sit there and eat my prasadam and lay all other nonsense.
Матаджи ми готвеше прасадам и аз отидох и бях от моя прасадам и без да се налага от техните глупости.
You can bring your own. Yeah. Not to eat their garbage, you know.
Може да си носиш собствена храна.
And there's some fruits you can take.
И да не ядеш техните глупости. Ако има някакви плодове, може да.
Uncut fruits.
Които не са нарязани.
Just like on the airplane, Mataji and I are flying so many places, and they always bring us so-called nice dinners, you know.
И както, например, с Матаджи пътуваме на толкова много места и в самолета ни носят така наречената...
We never touch, unless it is uncut fruits.
Хубава вечеря.
Then we will take. But even cut fruits we won't take.
Ако не са цели плодове, няма да ги приемам. Ако са нарязани...
They may have used the same knife as meat they use on the fruit.
Защото същия нож, който използват за месото, използват и за плодове.
So we just bring our own prasadam. We bring our bag of prasadam on the airplane. And we eat better than anybody else. Krishna prasadam. Yeah.
Кришна ката е най-лесният начин да бъдем в Кришна съзнание. Но става въпрос за кармите, нали, като те, за да им дадем Кришна ката, означава да им разпространим книгата. Но миналия път става въпрос за това как да намерим онова място, този интерес на тези кармите, за да могат да си вземат книгата. Именно как да намерим този техен интерес, това копчето, за което Гуру Махарадж казва в миналата лекция. Как да намерим този техен интерес, за да ги свържем, да си вземат книга.
So, Krishna Katha is the best way for becoming Krishna conscious. But when we associate with non-devotees in order to distribute books,
distributing books is Krishna Katha.
We need to find their, he calls it a weak spot, or
that is not Gramya Katha. Anything you tell them to get them to take a book, it is transcendental. It's Krishna Katha. Even if it sounds mundane, it's not. Just like there's some muscle man who lifts the weights, you say. And you go up to him and you say, wow, you're really strong. You have huge muscles. Nobody can mess with you. If you're doing that to sell a book, that's Krishna Katha. You understand? Whatever you tell them to sell a book, it's all Krishna Katha.
Въпросът ми беше как да намерим техния интерес.
His point was how to find their interest.
How to find their hot button?
Yeah, hot button. So
Yeah. Well, you have to look at them. Take a good look. How are they dressed? What sort of car are they driving? Do they have a hat? Or you can ask them, what are you into, man? You know what I'm saying? What do you really like? What is your favorite thing in life? You can ask them. What do you like the best about Bulgaria? What do you hate the most about Bulgaria? You can get a conversation going and ask them. See where they're at. And then connect the book with them. Just like devotees in the airport. They would always, one of their common lines was, where are you coming in from? Now where they begin some connection with where they're flying in from. And then you can begin a whole conversation about their town. Oh yeah, I was there one time. I hear they have a good baseball team, Whatever it takes to make the person friendly to you. That's very good. You can tell him that and give him the book.
И те казват, нали, аз съм от някой град и тогава правим ден и те казват, веднъж съм бил там, имат много добър бейсболен отбор, всичко, което е необходимо, за да ги накарате.
You should be the friendliest person they ever met in their whole life. That's what you should do.
Да сте най-приятелски настроената личност, която се срещали през целия си живот. Това, което трябва да направите.
They think that's the nicest person. I've never met such a nice, friendly person in my whole life. I've never met such a person.
Това беше най-приятната личност през целия ми живот. Не съм срещал такава.
In this way, you see.
По този начин.
Just be full of smiles, you see. Very, very full of compassionate smiles.
Бъди изпълнен с
Nice, smiling, compassionate face.
усмивка и състрадание.
Next question. Yeah.
Често на Санкиртан използвам това, че всъщност всички в тази епоха са разочаровани от всичко. Коректно ли е това? Защото всъщност това е негативен поглед върху. А това всъщност много ги прилича, защото те са също разочаровани като мен.
Often when he distributes books, his main point is that everyone is disappointed of this world. It's
Everyone is disappointed?
Yeah, with this world.
Okay. But not everyone is.
Но не всеки е разочарован от този свят.
Some people think it's great.
Някои хора си мислят, че е страхотно. Not in Bulgaria.
Not in Bulgaria. In America they do.
И винаги има от нещо той да... Веднага си го казва.
He believes that there is always something that people are disappointed about, even something small. And they would say,
That's true.
so it is kind of negative attitude.
No?
So he's asking, is it a good attitude?
No, to find something, whatever works, to get them to take a book, you go from the positive side, the negative side, whatever works, it's fine.
Всичко, което работи, независимо дали е негативно или позитивно, това, което работи с определения човек, само да си вземе книга.
Palena parachiyate, judge a thing by its result. Give the child some prasadam. Huh?
Prasadam. Тя вече
Give him more prasadam. Okay, next question.
Следващия въпрос.
Yes.
Моят контравъпрос е, ако не иска. So her question is, what is the most important thing that one has to do in difficult times in his spiritual life?
The most important thing to do in difficult times in one's spiritual life is to pray to your spiritual master to save you.
Да се молиш на духовния учител да те спаси.
With all of your heart.
Цялото сърце.
My dear Guru Maharaj, I am in great difficulty. I'm afraid I may fall down, Guru Maharaj. Please save me. Please save me. Just cry with the greatest intensity of your heart to your spiritual master to save you. The one prayer of Prabhupada I love so much. This it is his poem he wrote for Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. In that poem, Prabhupada says to his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he says, "Save me, a fallen. I am a fallen soul. Please save me." So you simply have to fall at the lotus feet of your spiritual master, either physically or within your mind. Fall at his lotus feet and just beg his mercy. Please save me, Guru Maharaj. I'm drowning in an ocean of sorrow. Please lift me up and save me from this madness.
Моля те, скъпи Гуру Махарадж, спаси ме от този океан от лудост. Трябва да паднеш по очи пред духовния учител, дали физически.
In this way, if you will pray with great intensity,
По този начин човек се моли с огромна.
the spiritual master will save you from your fallen condition.
Духовният учител ще те спаси от падналото състояние.
Even if he is not physically present,
Дори ако не присъства физически.
he is not limited to his material body.
Не е ограничен от своето материално тяло.
The spiritual master can enter into your heart and save you from Maya's influence.
Духовният учител може да влезе в сърцето и да те освободи от влиянието на Майя.
Any other questions?
Друг въпрос.
Yeah.
Значи, става въпрос за Санкиртана. Аз се пробвах на Санкиртана, обаче от 50-100 човека само една жена обърна внимание на книгите, но тя, разбира се, не искаше да се купи. Нито да даде дарение, нищо. Значи мисълта ми е, при това положение, сега може да има други много къдърни предани отдадени, но това специално в София и на няколко места съм го пробвал. По този, с този успех, как да се развива Санкиртана с този интерес на хората, като хората не искат да четат книги, не искат да ги погледнат, да не четат нищо.
Само ти кажа, че ме страх да преведа отговора още от сега. Okay, so his question is, he tried to distribute books in Sofia basically, and generally, and a few more places, and out of 100 people, just one woman took some attention, some time to take a book.
One woman?
Yeah, one woman, and she didn't take a book. So his question is,
What did she take?
she didn't take anything. She didn't buy a book.
What about the other 99?
They didn't take any interest in taking.
So no one took anything.
No one took anything. So his question is, maybe there are some more successful distributors, book distributors.
Yeah, you should find those who are more successful and take training from them. Beg them to train you how to distribute books. You have to humble yourself to those who are more successful than you. Find out how they are doing it. Don't be proud, thinking you can't take instructions from others. You should learn from others how they are doing. Okay.
His point is that the people in Bulgaria are, I don't know his description, but people in Bulgaria in general don't take interest in Krishna consciousness.
Now that's you, because you're not expert. Don't blame it on the Bulgarian people. You are not expert, that's the problem. I've seen the devotees here distributing books. I've seen the others. I know they're distributing. I've seen how they're doing. So it's your problem, not the Bulgarian people's problem. Huh? Yesterday? Kripa Siddha did 3 books yesterday. 2 books. So you should learn from Kripa Siddha.
Така че трябва да отидеш и да питаш Крипа
You become his disciple.
и да му станеш ученик.
Where is Kripa Siddha?
Къде е Крипа Сида? Къде е
Playing in the yard?
играе си на двора?
That swing is not for during the lecture. We've told you, you parents haven't learned. We told you the child should be sitting on your lap during the lecture.
Казах вече,
You all have not learned from us yet how to purify your children. And you give them some prasadam if they cry.
родителите не се научихте, че трябва децата да бъдат на лекция, да седят в скута ви и да не играят навън, трябва да седат и да слушат лекция, а ако плачат, да им давате някакви сладки.
Kripa Siddha, come sit right here.
Крипа Сида е лад, където си да слушаш.
You will live a long life. We were just talking about you.
Дълъг живот ще живееш, Крипа Сида, само за тебе говори.
When I am lecturing, it's not time to play in the swing.
Когато давам лекция, не е време да си играеш на люлката.
There's much time for play, but when I'm lecturing and when there's class going on, you must be here sitting nicely like brahmachari.
Когато имам достатъчно време за игра, но когато давам лекция, трябва да си тук.
You become educated. By hearing, you become educated.
И чрез слушане ще станеш образован.
Okay, any other questions?
Други въпроси?
We have time for one more question, that's it.
Имаме време само за един въпрос.
Who has not asked a question yet?
Понеже ставаше въпрос за Кришнаката и за грамиката, и понякога така се случва, че между преданните започва да тече грамиката и някакси моят въпрос е как може правилно да реагираме всъщност, без да дали да разкажем история или нещо, може да има някакъв добър начин. Санкаршан да сподели.
How can we react when amongst the devotees sometimes starts some gramikata? How can we react? What should we do?
This is actually fun adventure. What you do is learn the art of how to turn Gramikata into Krishna Kata.
Това всъщност е едно приключение, да научиш изкуството да обръщаш грамиката в Кришна ката.
Just like, say some Gramikata to me.
Кажи ми някаква грамиката.
Кажи как сте ударили днеска колата.
Днеска, да, удариха ми колата малко.
His car got hit today.
Да, малко така, не много.
A little bit.
Your car was hit. Well, I'm sorry for everybody here that your car was hit.
Много жалко първо да чуя, че колата е била ударена.
This is a very good lesson.
Това е много добър урок.
For you, the death can come at any time.
Че смъртта може всеки момент да дойде.
It could have been a fatal collision.
Можело да стане фатално.
So death can come just like your car was hit today. Death can come like that.
Както колата днес е била ударена и смъртта може да дойде със същата внезапност.
So you have to take it as a special lesson from Krishna.
Така че трябва да приемем специален урок от Кришна.
How is he always ready for that?
Винаги трябва да си готов за смъртта.
So in this way, you see. You have another one?
Yes.
All right.
ЦСКА влезна в групата на Лига Европа.
Which is?
My favorite soccer team entered the League of Europe.
Oh, your favorite soccer team. Oh, that's very good.
Това е много хубаво.
You really get fired up rooting for your team, huh?
Наистина си запален за отбора си.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
И аз знам как се чувстваш.
I'm also rooting for a team.
И аз също чета за един отбор.
My team is the Sankirtan movement.
Моя отбор е Санкиртан движението.
And they are fighting a match for the Asuras on this planet right now.
Те играят важен мач срещу асурите на тази планета.
When your soccer team wins, it really doesn't mean anything.
Когато твой футболен отбор победи, това нищо не означава.
But when my soccer team wins, the whole world will be saved.
Ако моя футболен отбор обаче победи, това е за доброто на целия свят.
So you should learn how to root for my soccer team.
Така че трябва да си от моя отбор.
You'll become happy if you do that, I guarantee you.
Ще станеш щастлив, ако да станеш.
By worshipping your soccer team, you do not become happy.
Обожайки твоя отбор, не ставаш щастлив.
But when you worship my soccer team, I guarantee you'll become unlimitedly happy.
Когато обожаш моя, ти обещавам, че станеш безкрайно щастлив.
So in this way, you see.
По този начин.
So our time is up.
Времето ни свърши.
We thank you all very much.
Благодаря ви.
Raja Vidya Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.